my incredible wife, Deanna.
This right here is my irritating husband, Ayizat.
This right here is my amazing wife, Deanna.
This right here is my got issues husband, Ayizat.
This right here is my beautiful wife, Deanna.
And this right here is the faker, Ayizat.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Excuse my voice. I've been yelling all weekend. I'm jumping up and down and acting crazy at this event that we're at right now. But all in all, I'm doing well. My wife, obviously, she's not doing well. She's a little bit irritated with me right now. But
he was doing the same thing right before we recorded, but he's trying to switch it up and act like, oh, everything is all good, and everything wasn't all good just 2 seconds ago. He's just trying to get me told. Let's not fake.
Really, that's the difference. That's one of the main differences that you experience in relationship dynamics. Is that oftentimes when you're in a relationship, you'll encounter a situation where you got somebody who marinades and sits and rests with a particular issue, and you got somebody who chooses to rise above or move beyond an issue, sometimes prematurely. And then the person who chooses to sit with the issue, sometimes they belabor the point. So that's one of those things that you got to deal with in relationship dynamics. But if you know how to negotiate it effectively, which we will do, she's beefing with me right now. A moment ago, I had an issue with her.
We just started a video, and I said we have to stop because his mood was stank. So because his mood was stank, then he was able to say what he needed to say, and then push stuff on me that really he needs to own himself. And because he wants to put it on me, now he dumped it on me. Now I feel better. He feels better. And so now you want to position yourself as, I've kind of let it go, but that's because you was just doing the same thing. You try to play something on my lap. So let's not try to play the role of the mature one here. When you were just sitting here doing a video looking like, the world was getting ready to end because you don't like the fact that if you express a feeling, that if I give you some feedback and you I'm so sensitive. Please don't say nothing to me. Don't ask me no question. Nothing at all. And I know a little bit about being in a relationship. I know a lot about being in this particular relationship. But I'm not coming at you and saying doing anything I'm doing right now. I'm just asking you some questions, trying to understand. And because I do that, no, I'm just expressing a feeling. Why are you telling me all of that? Why in the hell is me giving you some feedback that is not judging, that is not any of that? Why is that a problem in the first place? Why?
As I mentioned to my wife prior to recording the video, when somebody expresses a feeling, they don't always expect correction around the feeling.
I wasn't correcting. That is your interpretation. Asking questions about how you pose the question. It's about the energy that you send when you're asking. If you're saying like, well, what is that about it? I don't understand. Or why would you think that? If you're doing that, that's one thing. But that's not how I came at you. And I don't appreciate the fact that because you share something with me and then I'm asking you to give me a better understanding of what you're talking about. And because I ask questions, you don't like the questions, period. But you cannot put on me that I'm actually coming at you in a way where I'm being judging in it. You that's a projection piece. I'm not doing that. I'm just being myself asking you questions. That's why I said to you, if you don't want feedback, if you don't want me to ask you any questions, then let me know. But to actually place in my lap that what?
If you don't want feedback, let your partner know.
And I said that. If you don't want feedback, then let me know. And so that's all you have to do. But for you to actually get irritated and agitated with me and make it as though the questions in and of themselves are trying to correct you, I'm not trying to correct you. I'm asking you what I'm asking you. And I'm asking you questions based on what you share with me, based on trying to get a better understanding. And so I get penalized because I'm trying to get a better understanding because of your own particular issues, you take what I'm trying to do as correction, like a lot of men do. Because a woman asks questions. So brothers, just because a woman asks questions, because she's trying to get clarity, and because you're one of few words, or the questions actually take you to a place you're not trying to go, don't project onto her as if she's trying to correct you or trying to do whatever. Now she's coming at you with certain energy, even the energy that I'm coming with right now, that's a little much. But that's not what I came at you with.
The energy that you're coming with right now is a little much?
Absolutely. But I'm expressing my frustration. We're doing a video. This is what we're doing right now. But when I was talking to you, I wasn't coming at you when I'm asking you questions, trying to get a better understanding of where you're coming from. And then all of a sudden, I got to deal with the daggone chip on your shoulder of I don't need you to ask, because the questions in and of themselves apparently highlight the contradiction in some of what you're talking about. I know that what you were talking about is a feeling, and feelings aren't right or wrong. Feelings are just what they are.
Say that one more time.
Be quiet and listen.
Say that one more time.
Feelings are not right or wrong. They are what they are.
Can there be a contradiction in the feeling?
I said it's a contradiction. I just said
There's a contradiction in the feeling.
I don't really understand what you mean by that.
Or is the feeling what it is? Can there be a
You can
contradiction
have
in the
contradictory
feeling,
feelings.
or a contradiction in the feeling, or a contradiction
I'm
in
not
the
trying to have a
logic?
philosophical conversation.
No.
I have no idea what you're talking about or how you're trying to relate it to the conversation. But let me tell you what I am saying. What I am saying to you is that I know that you are coming from a place of feeling, in terms of sharing your feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me.
Where there is no contradiction.
A feeling is a feeling. It cannot be right or wrong. It just is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So I get that. But what I was asking you was I was trying to get a better understanding of where you were coming from and how you were arriving at that place. And so
So you were asking me to examine my logic.
No, I wasn't asking you to examine your logic. Again, there's the brothers, pay attention. This is what you all do because a woman asks questions or because she processes the way she processes, which is a more detailed processing. The detailed processing in and of itself is perceived as some kind of a punitive or some kind of a, you're questioning me because you're trying to get me to. I got more to do than try to get you to do nothing. If I'm asking you questions or I'm trying to figure out where you're coming from, it's about me trying to figure out where you are as your partner and how you're arriving there, where you are, because I'm trying to better know where you stand. And my way of knowing where you stand is to ask questions, not to ask questions that are penalizing and that are punitive and that are derogatory and all that kind of stuff. That's not what I was doing. And you can't tell me that that's what I was doing. But to be in a situation, in a relationship where you are, by the mere fact that you should dare even ask a question, oh, now you trying to get me to this, and I'm just, dude, like, for real? Like, seriously, I get you on the fact that if you're at a feeling place and you don't want feedback, then let me know. Because clearly you didn't want any feedback. But my feedback wasn't, look, you need to do this. My feedback was just trying to get better clarity about what it is you were talking about. That's what it was. And what you're doing is placing it in my lap. So you're trying to get me to examine my logic? No, the questions that I ask, as oftentimes they are, actually illuminate apparently some of the gaps in your logic. That's not for you to then put on me because you get mad because my questions illuminate that. I'm just trying to get a better understanding. That's all I'm trying to do. Now, if my energy is one that is kind of blaming and that kind of thing, then I might be trying to like get you. Oh yeah, well that don't make sense. But that's not what I was doing. And I don't appreciate you coming to me like I'm doing that because I'm asking questions. All you gotta do is say I'm not really trying to have a conversation about all that right now. I told you last night when I was giving you some feedback. I said you then turn stuff around on me. Well, that doesn't make sense because da 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 da. And I said, babe, you're my husband. I'm venting to you about something. That's all I'm doing. I don't need you to tell me all this other stuff about what have you. Because what you were doing is you were coming at me with telling me why I shouldn't think or shouldn't feel the way I feel. That was what you were doing. That is not what I was doing today. What I was doing today is simply asking fucking questions. And because of the way men's minds operate, the fact that I would ask questions, you perceive what I did today as the same thing you did yesterday. And it's not.
It's not?
You can't tell me how it was.
I definitely can.
Oh, you can.
Mm-hmm. But we're not going to do that on this video. There's a couple of lessons that you all can pull from the exchange that just went down. And I think that one of those lessons is that, oh man, it's getting kind of windy out here. I think one of the exchanges, one of the lessons that you can, take from what we just now shared is that, if you don't want feedback, it's probably good to be upfront about the fact that, when you're expressing yourself,
mm-hmm.
that, feedback is not needed. You're really just expressing yourself. So that's one thing. Another thing that you can learn from what we just shared is that there is the possibility that you could be projecting your feelings on the feedback that somebody is giving you. In addition to that, something else that could be pulled from or extracted from this experience right here is that, when you're expressing yourself, the expression in and of itself doesn't mean that correction or feedback is necessarily needed. So the person who is the one who is tempted to give the feedback should know that they might possibly want to use discernment in that situation, even if the person doesn't express that.
All you gotta do is ask. You can just ask.
Yeah, you could just ask. Exactly. You could just ask the question, would you like feedback? And allow that person to say yes or no.
The other thing that can be extracted is that when someone asks questions of you,
mm-hmm.
and wants to get a better understanding, if you're not in a place where you're wanting to engage in that, then you need to be able to share that and not attach a meaning to the questions or the feedback that you're getting. And when I talk about feedback is asking questions is I'm including in feedback. That's not just telling you some stuff. You're just trying to get a better sense of what's going on with that person. If that for you is unsettling, then you need to be able to speak about what you need, not about what the other person is doing. Or what you're perceiving the other person is doing. Because one of the things that's clear for me and for us in many situations that my husband and I have when we're discussing different things, where there are differences of opinion and different opinions on things, is that oftentimes it comes out of differences in perception and differences in the meaning that we attach to the other person's actions or lack of action, or words that they say or words they don't say. And so at the end of the day, the bottom line is that life is all about perception.
Feelings are not right or wrong.
And that, you're attaching meaning to things, and it may be so, it may not be so. But you have to learn each other, and you have to learn, number one, to be able to communicate what it is that works for you, what doesn't work for you, and to be able to say what you need and what you don't need. You're not going to necessarily, and this is the grandest lesson of all, you're not going to necessarily always agree on everything. You're not even going to necessarily, even us who, we have some experience with this relationship stuff, not just with ourselves, but with working with hundreds of people in their relationships. You're not even going to necessarily understand or support each other in your perceptions that you're having about the situation. But what you do have to do is you do have to be willing to converse about it, and to be able to come and have a meeting of the minds where you say, okay, what I said, I think the brother was projecting all day and all night. So then just let me know if you don't want me to say nothing. You're going to tell me something and I can't ask a question, I can't say anything, let me know, so that I will just not even go there with you. For him, he could think all day and all night that, she was trying to correct me in a sly, slick kind of a way. And so then what he needs to know from me, or what I need to know, is just asking questions is a trigger for him. So does it mean that asking questions is doing that? No. But does it mean it's doing it for him? Yeah. And so if we can understand that there are particularities about our spouses and things that work for them and don't work for them, and get out of what makes sense to us and what doesn't make sense to us, then we could be much more successful. Because I bet you one thing, I ain't asking this man no more damn questions about that particular topic.
Sure.
No, I'm not.
Yes,
because he already told me what? Don't ask me no questions.
It's in your nature.
It's my nature to ask questions. I'm not going to stop my nature.
You can't
but I can help it.
You can.
What you mean I can't help it?
Just what I said.
I ain't got no control over myself.
What you mean? Just what I said.
I can't help it. That don't even make no sense.
As always, stop playing
and start
pushing.